Okay, this is one of my bigger ones that I recently found. It's the Sony vpl-px31, I believe. It needs some cleanup work, and it probably needs to have some dusting done. But here's the connection. It's got a more robust connection. It doesn't have an HDMI, but it does have all the other connections. And you can see by the lens, it's actually a better quality lens because of the Sony parts. I've tried it out a few times. It's okay as far as the image goes, and it seems to work like it's supposed to. But like I said, here's it needs some cleanup work. Here is the controls on the top. And let's see what it looks like when we turn it on. Okay. Here is the Sony projector turned on, working. Again, here's the controls on the top that you can use to make adjustments if you need to, or you can simply navigate using the remote. And I have the remote right here. Let me go ahead and get to the menu. And here's our menu. You can see that without an input, you can't really adjust anything, which is obvious. You can change this, the language. It has speakers. It's got a power saving feature. The receiver is the front and the back, so no matter whether you're in front of it or in back of it, you should be able to use the remote just fine. And this one, it shows you a lamp life of about 11, just almost 1200 hours. So this is a, somewhat moderately used unit. It just basically needs some cleanup work to look good. Other than that, I don't see any issues with this. Again, this is the Sony VPL X31. Get my light. There's my light. As you can see, it's got some markings I need to clean up and just basic stuff. But it's a more robust projector. Keep in mind on these are heavier. These are intended for bigger areas like conference rooms, theater halls, or auditoriums. However, you can use them in home, but be aware that it's going to be heavy, and it's going to be more intensive maintaining something like this versus those small Epson or a Dell or something more manageable size. It doesn't necessarily give you anything more robustly better, but this is more of a you could probably put this one further back and get a slightly larger image, whereas those smaller ones, there's a little bit distortion after a certain distance. But keep in mind that these are Sony lenses, so they are probably a little bit better than any of the other ones. But I definitely think that this unit is a nice unit to have. Alright, this is a Sony vpl-px40. And this is another one I rescued from where they were going to kind of throw it away. It's a little bit beat up. It's got some broken parts. As far as functionality of it, I haven't seen any problems. I've tested it and the focus works. So you can literally, there you go, we got a focus screen. Alright, so again, this is as loud as it gets. It's a Sony, so be aware that probably the lenses are going to be a little bit better than some of the other projectors out there. Again, here's the connections, and here's the controls. The remote for this also works with other Sonys. So this is I guess Sony Universal Remote that I have. So let's navigate through the menu. Again, it's the same thing, same adjustments. Tells you, what you can do, what your information is, and here's the information. It's got lamp hours on here. It's got timer. It's almost got 1,500 hours on it. It's supposed to have an IP address. I haven't figured out how to set that, but you're supposed to be able to set it up on an IP address and be able to manage this on the network. So that's one of the interesting features I haven't been able to use yet. But like I said, it's going to require a little bit of cleanup, some TLC, and possibly adjustments, and it should be a well-functioning projector. I'm glad I picked this up for, a decent amount, and hopefully I'll be able to fix it up and find a good home for it.